Listen, Scott, I don't care how festive you're feeling. I'm not going to take you up to your bedroom to bend you over and slay you. Hello there, I'm Barely Breathing Reviews, and I'm drinking Orangiboom, which, frankly, is almost becoming the unofficial sponsor of this podcast, isn't it? It fuels this bullshit.
It really fucking does.
You're drinking it as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, as we record, it's December 16th, which is Bill Hicks's birthday. So, happy birthday, Bill.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Bill.
birthday, Bill.
That was a satisfying clink. I enjoyed
Very
that.
satisfying clink. Anyway, because we're approaching the end of the year, I thought that instead of doing the whole what's going on in the film industry, and unless you have news, do you guys have news?
Okay, so I have a little bit of news, but nothing huge. Have you heard anything relating to Ocean's 8?
No.
I've seen a poster.
Is it this poster?
It is that poster.
Yeah, so
We'll put the poster up now.
Looking at the poster, you may notice that there is a distinct lack of dick in this picture. It's an all-female cast and it is star-studded. So they've kind of gone along the same lines of like Ghostbusters.
That's cool.
They're doing a chick thing, which is it's beautiful. We love it.
People have been making complaints about that kind of thing. It's just like, why complain? I think I said it in a review I did ages ago. The last 2 Star Wars films have had female protagonists. As you mentioned, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
All female lead. There's nothing. This is fine.
Yeah, it's
good.
like progression. Like, I don't understand how people are having such a hard time with it. Like, oh, the Ghostbusters can't be chicks. Well, why the fuck can't they? Anyway, so the Ocean's 8, it's Sandra Bullock, so it's
Nice.
got potential. We like Sandra Bullock. Okay, so it's not a remake or a reboot of any of the other Ocean films, but rather like a new chapter spin-off type. It'll follow Danny Ocean's sister, Debbie, who's played by Sandra Bullock. She gets out of prison, starts to plan a heist involving this priceless necklace, something about the Met Gala, that's probably where she's robbing it from, living her best life. So to pull off the crime, she needs to put together this team of ladies, and she's got fucking Kate Blanchett, Rihanna, Mandy Kaling, I don't know her, Helena Bonham Carter, Anne Hathaway as well is in this.
That actually looks really decent with that type of lineup cast. That actually got a really decent cast.
I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see what Helena Bonham Carter is going to bring into this, because I feel like she's really typecast. You know what I mean? Like in Harry Potter, she's in Sweeney Todd. She's in a bunch of dark shit, and she always plays the same role. So I want to know what she's going to play, because I feel like this is going to be potentially a different role. So I'm excited about it. What I'm hoping for is like an entrapment kind of vibe. Do you remember Entrapment with Catherine Zeta-Jones?
And Sean Connery.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's something like that, but with more chicks in it.
I don't want it to be a replica of the original's Ocean's 11, but there are women doing it now. I'm hoping that they do something original with...
I like that it's a spin-off story rather than trying to just emulate the same thing. It's going to be hard for them to find the right balance of what people are hoping and expecting for, because this kind of premise has been done a lot now. Like when it was in the original Oceans, like 11, wasn't it? The first one?
Ocean's 11 was the first one.
It was something that we hadn't really seen a lot of before, so it felt really fresh. Now it feels that like this kind of plot and storyline has been a bit
But I find a lot of films are quite repetitive now. It's very rare like you get the ones that are good. Like that's why I think why the really good Star Wars is quite unique, Lord of the Rings is quite unique, then everyone else copies after it.
It's going to be interesting to see how everyone kind of like gels. Like the narrative is almost irrelevant. You're just going to see how they do together as a cast. But no,
I love Kate Blanchett as well. You know who I'm missing from that mixer? What's
Gillian
it?
Anderson.
No, other than Gillian Anderson is Michelle Rodriguez.
She'd fit in quite well.
She'd slide in easily into that.
She'd be the martial arts chick.
She'd be the muscle.
She'd be the muscle, the heavy. I got news.
Come on in, suck it to us.
After Avengers 4 is released in May 2019, at least 20 other movies are coming after that. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to be one of those movies.
Okay. I'm worried that they're going to overdo those.
Massively.
Oh, they will do.
Oh, they will. It's going to be
I feel
disgusting.
like they're already doing that.
But in the generation they're doing now, it's allowed and acceptable. That's the thing.
There's going to be a new Spider-Man movie, of course. So far, there's 22 Avenger-related movies in existence, and Kevin Feige says there's 20 more on the way. It's going to be very different, he says.
It's not.
No, it won't be. Captain America has only got 2 movies left.
Only 2 movies
Only
left.
2.
Thank God.
How many are there already? already.
Black Panther and Captain Marvel, they're going to be like taking the helm sort of thing. It's not going to be like Robert Downey Jr. is going to be doing Iron Man until he's near the grave.
I think that is Hugh Jackman starting to take the step down to try and actually stop this. I wonder if others might follow.
I'm glad you mentioned that. He wants to include X-Men and Fantastic Four. Right now, Fox owns the rights to those, but Marvel's obviously involved with negotiations with that kind of stuff. In the same way that Sony once owned Spider-Man, yet we're seeing Spider-Man in Marvel films.
Yeah, and how Disney now owns Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, they get shown on different platforms.
Basically, Marvel's not going away anytime soon. I thought they'd be done after Avengers 4, and I reckon, considering
they
I'm
won't
so-
stop after trying to get more money.
I'm so over them.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the whole, are there too many superhero movies? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, there are.
Although I did like Wonder Woman.
Even if the whole superhero movie genre was Marvel exclusive, there
There's
would
too
still
many-
be
there's
too
still
many.
too many.
Well, we've got DC, we've got Sony and Fox with their interpretations. It's too fucking much.
Yeah,
It's-
it's-
Like,
I don't
all-
think it's sometimes too many hero movies. I think it's more the fact is they're all the same storyline. Watchmen.
Yeah.
It's a superhero film done as they're superheroes, but in a really dark, weird.
Yeah.
It's done in a completely different way. There's a lot more. It's more realistic in ways. There's still normal people.
And the reason why we like it so much is because it's different from all the other hero films.
That's why I like Deadpool. At first, it was a very
Yeah.
comedy, but now the others are going to go comedy, even to the point now Batman cracked a joke.
We're reaching the end of the year, now that the introduction is finished with.
Oh, good.
I just wanted to know what you guys enjoyed about 2017. What did you like? What didn't you like? What you're looking forward to next year? That's kind of basically the theme that we're going to go for. Just like a reflection on the year of TV and film and what we're hoping is going to be okay next year.
Mhm.
Did you see Archer Season 8?
I haven't been watching it in sequence. But I have seen more of it now. I've seen like all of the first season and then like random episodes of all the other seasons, but completely out of order.
So basically Archer's in a coma from the previous events in Season 7. And they zoom into his head and they go into the dreamland where it's got the characters that you know and love, but they're all they take completely different roles. Overall, it's hilarious.
Pam gets super conservative. Like,
Adapting each character into the dreamland was seamless, even though that there was some changes. The most extreme, you mentioned Pam.
is it Pam?
Yeah. Her name and her gender changes.
Oh, no way.
She's cool.
But we know that she's Pam.
Basically, it is Pam, but they try and make out that it's a man.
It's animated perfectly, the voice actors are all on point. But the whole Dreamland thing, although it was fun, put a huge pause on the actual narrative for a whole season.
Hang on, this is the plot for the whole season.
Oh yeah, of the whole season.
Not one episode.
No.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was
It's
more like
still
in
good.
Breaking Bad, you know, when they did the fly episode
No.
to slow down the season.
No, it's not.
rather
Okay, imagine
with an
that, but for
episode.
one season.
Oh wow, that's a pain in the ass.
Actually, it's still good. It's still very funny, very good.
Yeah,
You
but
d-
still.
You do enjoy the ride. It's a good
Yeah.
ride, it's funny, and I do recommend watching it. But the next season, Season 9, is out next year. I just don't want it to be like Dreamland 2.0 that's set in another country in another time period.
Yeah,
I don't want that.
Mm.
It's not going to progress. But it's fun. There are hilarious jokes. There are very funny moments. It's dark.
It does have a continuous storyline, but you can just jump in and out and enjoy
Yeah.
the entire episode because it's as still good as itself.
Like episodes of It's Always Sunny. You can just bob in and out of it.
Mm.
What's the gang up to?
Another thing that I stumbled on thanks to you guys was Disjointed.
Disjointed. I introduced the both of you to Disjointed.
It's so fucking awesome.
Yeah, you're
Thank
welcome. Kathy Bates, man, she gives me life. But you cannot watch it sober.
For anyone who doesn't know this, it's a Netflix exclusive TV series created by Chuck Lorre. That's the guy who brought us The Big Bang Theory and The 2.5 Men. As you mentioned earlier, Claire, it stars Kathy Bates as Ruth Feldman. She's a sort of former political activist in the name of legalizing weed turned owner of a pot dispensary in California. The plot revolves around that basically and the bud tenders she has employed to help run the business. It's funny. It's good. I like
It is good. I really enjoy it because I love. The thing is, you have to get used to it. Like, it's quite an adjustment from what your normal watching would be, your normal programming, because you have to kind of adjust to the crappiness of it. in that there's a lot of canned laughter. The acting is very kind of wooden and American, and it's all those things, but there, in between all of that, you can forgive it because there are some golden moments.
Yeah.
There are such golden moments, which mostly is done by Kathy Bates.
Yeah. Because weirdly enough, you can jump in at any point. And I watched the pilot with you guys, and then X amount of weeks passed, and I joined in again. I watched for 2 episodes, and it was the last 2 episodes. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought that I jumped in at episodes 2 and 3, and the conclusion, I won't spoil anything. I was like, that was a heavy 2nd and 3rd episode.
You
So
did the same with House of Cards.
Yeah, I did this. The only House of Cards episode I've seen is the last one. And that was like
brilliant.
Intense.
But with Disjointed, you cannot watch it sober. Marth, my friend Marth, who is very much into like TV and series and stuff, and is all over Netflix originals, tried watching Disjointed and hated it. And then she watched it with me, and I got her Swifty, and she was fine, loved it. She was like, suddenly it makes sense as a programme. She didn't really get it before,
but
until I got her fucked up.
Not so spoilery, Cheech and Chong make a cameo appearance, which is good. Fun.
One thing that I didn't like about Disjointed, other than the canned laughter and all that shit, is the sneaky adding in of advertisement. Like, they were clearly sponsored by Lay's crisps, weren't they? Because they were all over it. Like, every now and again, you wouldn't even realise it, but you would be watching an advert. But it tied in with the series.
And they throw in other random adverts as well, I think, just to throw you, like the old cigarette can thing. Yes,
exactly, and it was all very supposedly subtle, but obviously we spotted it, so it can't have been that subtle. You know what I mean? Like, is that how advertising's going to go now? Like, they're just going to embed it into TV and programming?
Well, they've always done it by...
Which they've always done by proxy, but not so blatantly as this one.
The question that we've kind of almost flirted with regarding Disjointed, does it only appeal to stoners? Do you think that it's restricted its audience in that respect?
Absolutely. I think this is why it's not done very well on Netflix. A lot of people will have watched it sober and not understood the concept. Like my friend Marth, who would totally be into it. I recommended it to her and she was like, what the fuck? I then got her fucked up and she loved it.
It got about, I think it was 18%, don't hold me to it, but it got definitely less than 20% on Rotten Tomatoes and all that kind. Means nothing to me, I don't give a fuck about it, but people, for some reason, make their decisions about watching stuff based on Rotten Tomatoes and whatever.
I think people are still a bit too pissy at Kathy Bates for leaving American Horror Story to do it, and I think people thought that she must have left for such a fantastic reason. Imagine you are an American Horror Story fan, and you think, I like Kathy Bates, she's in this thing that I like, I'll try this new programme that she's left my beloved show for, and you watched it sober and weren't into the whole stoner lifestyle or whatever, you would think that it was a horrendous mistake on Kathy Bates' part, because she is better than that programme, but we love it for its charm because it's relatable. American Horror Story fans that would have then watched this shit would have been like, instant hate. That's why it did so poorly with ratings and stuff.
Could you imagine Disjointed without Kathy Bates?
Disjointed would be shit without Kathy Bates. Move on. We're gonna get through this.
Yep. Something else I watched this year: Rick and Morty season 3.
Oh, I love Rick and Morty so much.
I love Rick and Morty.
It was a good season. The Pickle Rick episode, obviously.
That's one thing that Rick and Morty are also doing, trying to compete with themselves for moments, I think.
Really?
Because they're waiting for the next thing that people shout in the queues at festivals. It'll be Pickle Rick! Well, it was Pickle Rick!
Well, we were in that queue at the festival.
We were in that queue, and they'll be looking for that next moment. They'll be trying to create it.
The character development has increased dramatically, apart from Rick, but you do not want Rick to evolve. He is fine just as he is. You don't want to touch him, do you, really?
No.
People get pissed off if he starts
He's
feeling stuff. Yeah, exactly.
It would be like if they ever killed off Daryl in The Walking Dead, there would be uproar.
I think it's getting progressively darker. You can tell that they've got female writers because everyone's starting to become more three-dimensional. Everyone's starting to evolve, even though that they've been criticised heavily for having female writers.
Well, Summer and Beth are completely different now, I think. They're a lot more in their own characters. Especially Summer.
I wasn't a huge fan of the last episode. It seemed like such a weird ending. Anyway, Ultimate Beastmaster is back.
Back with a vengeance.
For those of you who do not know what the fuck Ultimate Beastmaster is...
You don't need to know about it, just watch it.
Exactly! It's on Netflix. Like everything in the world.
Everything else is. And it's on Netflix and Terry Crews, that's all you need to know. Watch it.
I heard that The Last Jedi is a Netflix exclusive.
Is it? Terry Crews is in that too.
The new Lord of the Rings that they're not making ever is also a Netflix exclusive.
Yeah, Terry Crews is in those as well.
This podcast is a Netflix exclusive.
He's been the body just for Darth Vader.
My reviews are Netflix exclusive. Everything is Netflix exclusive.
My shit this morning was a Netflix exclusive.
For those of you who don't know what it is, it's heavily similar to Ninja Warrior.
It is.
12 contestants representing 6 countries. In season 1 we had Brazil, Germany, Japan, Mexico, South Korea and America. The Beast itself is an obstacle course with 4 different levels and only a certain amount of people can progress, and by the 4th level only 2 remain to compete for the win. Sylvester Stallone is an executive producer.
I forget that he's part of this.
He
like,
was
he
involved.
literally
He
turns
looks so
up.
plastic.
Yeah, he does. He literally turns up at the beginning of the episode and you forget about him
He's like,
instantly
"I'm
until the end of the episode when he does the outro.
I'm Sylvester Stallone. Here's the shit that I fund.
Yeah, bye.
That I have no involvement in.
See you never.
Yeah, exactly.
He's out there living his
He
best
doesn't
life.
give a fuck, does he?
No,
really?
not single
No, of
fuck,
course
just
not.
given by that guy.
One of the Brazilian presenters was Anderson Silva, who was an MMA guy. Very accomplished martial artist, which was quite cool.
Oh, there we go.
But everyone else, no one knows who they are, apart from when it comes to the American presenters, which is what we get.
Yeah.
We've got Terry Crews and we've got Carissa Thompson. I don't know who Carissa Thompson is. I know who Terry Crews is.
Yeah.
Because he looks like he was chiseled out
Terry
of sex.
Crews. Yeah. Terry Crews is the real star of the show.
Would you
Really
fuck
is.
Terry Crews?
Yes.
Would you fuck Terry
He
Crews?
would split me in half.
You should. No, I think he'd be quite a generous lover, actually.
I reckon his dick's massive.
Yeah, of course it is, but I reckon that he would be aware of how massive his dick is.
And go gently.
Yeah. But once he's in,
I feel like he'd feed me after.
I think he'd revere you after.
Or during.
No, not during. Terry's got to be Terry during.
Like how he is when he's on speed in White Chicks.
Season 2 launched yesterday. As of recording, Season 2 launched yesterday. There's bad news.
Oh, why? Like genuine concern then. Surprise myself.
Shall I break you in gently?
Just like Terry Crews' dong.
In the new season, only America is the remaining country. Joining them is Spain, France, Italy, China, and India. Not too crippling news. I'd have liked some English people just for someone to root with.
So it's different countries than the ones that we had before. New set.
Apart from America, yeah.
Apart from
Completely
America.
different countries, but America remains.
Alright.
This is the news that hurts me.
Right.
Terry Crews is no longer presenting.
What?
Why?
Don't know why. He just isn't.
So he hasn't done this season.
No. Instead,
Who is it?
Exactly. Who is it?
Oh.
Instead, you have 2 people I have never even heard of. Tika Barber and Chris DiStefano. Yeah, they're.
I think I know this DeStefano chap, but I don't know if I know him. Hang on, let me.
background fodder, isn't it?
It's
stuff-
no Terry
Yeah,
Crews. I'm upset about that actually because he really made it for me.
yeah, he did. It was a
The
lot.
energy.
Anything that he said was hilarious, and he would always go over to the other presenters, and it was like they clearly had like mad ass parties after. I'm sure we'll have other charming people that will, know to love their quirks and stuff, but I'm a little bit sad about Terry Crews. I don't give a shit really that we're not in it. If anything, I think if England was in it, we'd spoil it somehow.
I would sacrifice England for Terry Crews
Yeah,
in the name
I
of
would in any context.
any context ever. Okay, films that I enjoyed this year: Thor Ragnarok.
Didn't watch it.
I actually really enjoyed it. Apart from, I think the bike they had in it should have been pink.
And they changed it in the film.
I think it's like blue or green.
That's like when they did the fucking cat in Hunger Games. It's meant to be ginger.
I remember it was meant to be one colour and it wasn't. It was a bit of an
And they had a
outlaw, so
completely
they
different
changed
cat, and then they were like, and then the fans were really pissy about it, and then Hunger Games thought, I tell you what, we'll just stick in what the cat should have looked like
Yeah.
then. As though the people wouldn't notice that the cat changed fucking colour, bunch of nubbins.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, what got to me though is, I wondered, did they change it because of the whole masculinity of Thor having a pink scooter? But for me, that is hilarious. Imagine this guy that can come to you, smash your entire face into the ground with a hammer by letting it just drop on you, goes around on a little big scooter. I'm gonna get you fucking evil.
sound like they don't want to be out.
They don't want to be out.
Those scooters, yeah, they always sound like they just want to go back home. And
They do sound like they want to die, yeah.
Yeah, and just like rest.
Dunkirk, good film.
Didn't see it.
That was actually really quite good.
Apparently it's very historically accurate. Even the names of the boats belonging to the civilians that picked up the army were quite on point as well. Which is cool. Murder on Orient Express. That was really good. Poirot. Sorry?
I didn't watch it.
No, it's fine. You don't have to watch everything. It's all good.
I've watched hardly anything this year, you know. Hardly anything at the cinema. But I think it's because the cinema's fucking expensive and I don't really like it. So I tend to wait until it comes on TV.
So why are you on this podcast?
I know, it's a mystery as to why. I don't even have a happy meal to talk about either.
Murder on Orient Express is definitely worth your time. It's flirting with my top 3.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Flirting. It's there or thereabout. I'm not sure. It's not gonna win anything, but it's gonna maybe get podium, possibly.
Right.
Logan.
Love Logan. Yeah, so gory. The things that they were doing with those claws, like, it made me hurt inside. You watch something and you're like, oh.
I just loved it when his fist went slowly to that guy's face, and also the claws just go straight through.
Wonder Woman. Good.
Loved Wonder Woman. Yeah, happy with that.
They actually did really well with that.
They
really
did.
well.
Other than the annoying typecast American guy, I was like, oh, I'm so over you.
Chris Pine. No, Chris Pine was good.
Yeah, he was
alright.
fine, but like the idea of like the wholesome
The thing
American guy, like, oh.
It was a
Yeah,
great
it's
film.
great
Actually.
film.
The best DC film that has ever.
I found it so weird to see Claire from House of Cards in it. I couldn't get over it. I was like, what are you doing in a crazy get-up? Where's your suit? I found it too weird to see her in such a...
Oh, she was in Amazonian, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was
Oh.
one of the
Yes, that was
Amazonian
it.
warrior.
Yeah, like the whole, because I only know her. I've only ever seen and know her as
Claire
that character from House of Cards.
She's not typecast yet.
No, I'm not saying that. It was just like
I've only seen him in one
a
thing.
massive adjustment for me to see her in any other role.
Was she more terrifying in House of Cards?
Absolutely. Anyway, yeah, next.
It's
other
like
films.
Robin Williams when he plays in that, was it the 1 hour photo compared to like Patch Adams. If that's the only 2 films he's seen from him, completely
The adjustment
different.
would be a bit much.
Yeah, paedophile to a guy that tries to help kids get cured by laughing in hospital, putting clown noses on his face, to touching them and raping them. It's completely 2 different films.
I failed to
Seems
see
like
the
a natural
difference.
segue, actually.
Actually,
isn't
it
From
does.
one film to
I
the
just
next.
realised I picked the 2 worst ones.
Yeah, one's like a predecessor. Anyway, next film.
I liked Suburbicon. Scott, that's
I
one.
love
Yeah, it's a good film. Matt Damon.
So
You can't say Matt Damon without going there.
It's alright. It's interesting.
Never seen.
One of those films that you do not have to go to the cinema for this. It's not a cinematic experience. You could watch this on your phone. But at the same time, it's predictable.
Yeah.
But you enjoy guessing correctly. Matt Damon, perfectly good performance. Julianne Moore is very...
Love Julianne Moore. Rate her.
Dual role.
Yeah.
Great performance from her, of course. Oscar Isaac, who you may know as
Love him too.
Poe Dameron.
Yeah.
Great performance. You'll watch it twice at most.
Yeah.
You'll watch it once at the cinema if you decide to see it, and you'll watch it
If it comes on
half-heartedly
telly, maybe,
if it
yeah.
comes on television or it pops up on Netflix.
Mm.
It's not top 3, but it's worthy of mention. The Batman Lego Movie.
I've heard such good things about the Batman Lego movie.
Good, it's-
Like it's the best Batman film ever.
actually, yeah,
Yeah.
It is.
I really want to
I've
see
heard
it.
that. I've got it.
Have you? Oh, there we are. I'll watch
It's
it
the best Batman film that's ever been
then.
made.
Yeah, legit. I'm quite happy.
Without
with
the
this Lego.
involvement of Heath Ledger.
Yeah, that made it.
Zach Galifianakis plays the Joker in this and he does a good job.
Yeah.
Did not like the end song. I thought that was a bit too drawn out and bullshitty. Potentially film of the year, John Wick 2. People forget it was out this year.
Yeah.
Really
It
early
was
on.
early this year.
Very
that's
early this
why,
year. We were
yeah.
talking about Keanu. We've
Keanu
mentioned Keanu
Reeves
Reeves several
was-
times. The Raid 2 won Film of the Year for me back in 2015 because it was just more of what the original was. But then people would say, if a sequel's just more of the original, then why the hell would you praise it? Because
Yeah,
it's more...
in what way is it developing?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, The Raid was a martial arts film. You're not exactly going to watch The Raid 2 for anything other than that.
it being a martial arts film, yeah.
And it's the same with John Wick 2.
Kind of like how Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2 are in that same way. Like, they are essentially the same film, or it's like the same concept, but they feel very different as films. And you don't get bored of this either.
I haven't seen the new Jumanji film, but I know it's going to be
Oh,
atrocious.
it's
I
going to
know
be
I'm going to
terrible.
hate
It has
it.
to be.
Yeah.
It has to be
It
terrible.
is out, but
It's going to be terrible. It's going to have good laughs, and that's it.
Assassin's Creed came out in January. Fassbender, I will say, was perfect. He looked the part.
He always
He's passionate about it. The critique I had of this, and I don't even play the games, the only knowledge I have is from simply watching Scott play, because the narrative of it is actually genuinely quite interesting.
The books were amazing.
What made the game so good is that majority of the gameplay was done when you were in the Amulet. In the film, they've done the exact opposite of that and focused more on outside of the Amulet. Shit. Awful. It's a throwaway film. I did not like the latest Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, with the guy that was in 007, the melty face guy.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing that's
That's
been
so
done
right.
to death. Like, the first and second one you can forgive because they want to do a sequel, but after that, nah. Give it in.
In a nutshell, it was crap. Moving on. Baywatch.
Didn't see it.
It was awful.
I haven't seen
Absolutely
any
fucking awful.
films other than, like, Logan and Wonder Woman.
On its own, it's fucking atrocious. But as a spiritual successor to the actual TV series, apparently it's on point. If it captures...
It's in keeping with the original.
Exactly, unlike the Power Rangers movie.
Which was shite.
Which was completely opposite. It did the grimdark thing.
You know, David Hasselhoff bought a castle for himself. Have I told you about
Did he
it?
call it Castlehoff?
No, the Hassel Castle. Yeah,
Call
you
it
would
Castlehoff.
totally call it the Castlehoff. Missed opportunity.
Alien Covenant, I know you saw
Oh
that.
yeah, I did watch that.
I
Yeah.
thought it was bad.
Yeah, it's like, it's more of the same shit. It's another film where it's like, oh, we're gonna do
Fassbender
another
again.
one.
Balls in.
We'll do another one and we'll do more of the same and hope you like it. It's like, oh, come on.
It's more like updated and get for the new generation.
I don't know why it's become okay for you to, for not you specifically, Scott, but for people, film people, to just keep going with the same shit. Like,
keep doing
Fast and Furious 17 or 18, however many they're going to do, fucking knows. Like, there's too many of everything. Too much. You didn't need to go and see it to know exactly what the film was about. And there was no Sigourney Weaver, so that also does not help.
The Mummy.
Oh, with
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Have you not seen it?
No, of course I haven't.
It's not a
At the
spiritual
beginning.
successor to the Brendan Fraser, Arnold Vosloo's, Rachel Weisz's, John Hannah's Mummy that
I
we love, of course,
Rachel Weisz.
from the late 90s. No, it's got nothing to do with that. It is one of the worst films that I've seen this year, undoubtedly.
Why?
It's in every respect it's bad. Visually, it's atrocious. Narratively, it's fucked. It doesn't make sense.
It never really did, though.
It's just Tom Cruise being
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. Going, this is how fast I can run. This is how long I can jump. This is me being Tom Cruise. Look how topless I am.
Yeah.
Fuck that. It's
Sometimes you just don't gel with stuff, though. I do that with people. Like, you know, Ben Affleck. He's done nothing wrong. But I avoid him like the plague if he's in stuff. I will
Why?
actively avoid films if he's in it.
Why?
I don't know why.
what was the film that you saw him in that
Just
was like?
as, like, you know when you just don't gel with someone's face? He's probably a lovely
He's
person.
an attractive man.
And he's probably a decent actor. I wouldn't really know, because I avoid his stuff because I find him annoying. For no real reason.
His earlier stuff I used to find him annoying. His later stuff I found got better.
I just
It's-
don't enjoy him on
Like from
screen.
Good Will Hunting and shit. He was actually alright though, like Mallrats and stuff like that, played by Kevin Smith.
Triple X2.
I'm not enjoying this spiral of negativity.
Anyway,
Fast and
things that
Furious
I'm looking forward to next year. Woo!
Oh my god, there's another section.
Avengers: Infinity War. I'm looking
Don't
forward
care.
to. You really don't do Marvels, do you?
Just not worried about it. There's, by the time this one's out, the next one will be out, and people will be buzzing about that. I find you can kind of coast from Avengers film and whatever because they come and go so quickly that no one really cares if
They
you've seen it or
almost
not.
they cheapen the experience, don't they?
Yeah, it's
By
too
being
much.
so
Saturating the
consecutive.
market.
Too much of a good thing is bad for you, and it's become so
Here's
overbearing.
Spider-Man 11. Enjoy.
Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, genuinely up for that.
I love a Jurassic Park film. But that's another franchise that's being absolutely butt raped.
Han Solo movie. I'm dreading it, to be honest.
they're actually doing one.
Yeah, and there's a fucking poster out and everything.
Is there?
Yeah.
Is it
No, it's not.
Harrison Ford?
Of course it's not Harrison Ford. Before the original trilogy.
They're
Yeah,
going to do Star Wars like they do in Marvel. They're going to have like the main one, which is Star Wars, like Justice League and stuff like that, and then
And
their
have
own
a
imagery
bunch
and
of
things.
spin-off ones
Yeah.
to make more fucking money.
There's several.
Yeah, okay.
They're doing an Orlando Calrissian movie.
Oh, leave it out. Find something different.
It won't find the magic that Rogue One found. Ready Player One, Steven Spielberg.
I'm really looking forward to
I'm
that.
feeling that.
It's based on a rich guy who puts all his millions inside a game, virtual reality, for anyone to find.
Okay, and they have to like solve the game to get the money.
But as they're
But
going
it's
in there,
impossible,
everyone you could be
basically.
talking to a unicorn, which is actually just a person. You could be talking to random fucking things, but everything's going to be normal and acceptable because it's in the online
Game.
world.
Yeah.
Pacific Rim Uprising.
I don't give a shit about Pacific
You should
Rim.
give a shit about Pacific Rim.
I'm not excited about that even a little bit.
Don't
Because
do it.
I have not even one iota of a shit to give about it.
The first one was amazing.
Not even a
breathtaking.
burger shit would I give. You built it up so much.
No,
what was
but telling you how
delivered
awesome it is.
But
was
I like it
fucking
because it's
Power
fucking
Rangers
robots
meets
and fucking
Transformers. Of course you fucking loved it.
No, it's so much more than that. The Predator, looking forward to that. I'm dreading Aquaman that's coming out. Tomb Raider I'm kind of looking forward to. Venom looks kind of cool.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Venom
Actually,
I'm looking forward to.
Darkest Hour, that's the Churchill film that's coming out soon.
that
in
looks
mid-January.
really intense.
I'm looking forward to that.
That'll
is
be decent.
probably going to be filmed with the Oscar-worthy stuff.
Yeah, it'll be around about that time, won't it?
Halloween, a new installment. Looking forward to that. Jamie Lee Curtis is involved.
I like Jamie.
Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Ugh.
And Scream Season 3 TV series. I can't wait for that.
I'm looking forward
Just
to
for a
that.
Yeah,
laugh,
that'll
have a
me
laugh.
too. I just find it a bit rubbish that everything is sequels or prequels
successors.
or
Because there's nothing
spin-offs
really original
of...
now, is there? No one wants to put effort into trying to think of something new. They just want to have the quick next big bang money done.
I'm a
It's
little
all
bit
like con
over it.
artists. Most films now is like con arts, really. They try and pretty it up a bit, throw it back out and done.
I know that it's hard to have like original ideas, especially now when everything seems to have been done.
People are too afraid, and the people don't want to back it because they want a quick, easy buck, and they don't want to try and pay
Yeah,
on something.
stifling creativity. Twin Peaks. Now, I have not held back on my excitement for the new series.
We
Twin
talked
Peaks
about it
Return.
at length. In one
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
podcasts.
I got sufficiently swifty to watch it because it was on. Is it on Now TV or is it on Amazon? It wasn't Netflix. Whichever platform it was on, either way, it's not on it anymore. I was very, very excited to watch it. I sat down to watch it with a friend who's also as into it and as into the originals as I was. We got sufficiently swifty as you need to be for a David Lynch anything to be able to grasp the concepts. And it was just so far removed from any kind of graspable concept or plot. I could not get into it and I was so disappointed. It was like a 2-hour pilot for the new season and I was just sat there staring at it, wondering what the fuck was going on. I looked over to my friend who was slugging out on the like next to me like, what is happening? Like, you know when you're so confused by something that you can't even function.
Yeah. I know that exact feeling because after a while, you're just like, I what?
It
You
was-
just literally you don't know what to do
Yeah.
or say or anything. You're just that like, what the fuck?
The programme was happening at me. I've been looking forward to it for so fucking long. But from the things that I've read, other people have really enjoyed the series. But after this pilot, it put me off, and then when I was finally ready to kind of reintroduce myself back to the idea of watching it, it had been taken off Now TV. I was like, fuck. So I haven't even seen the whole series. And now I'm like, well, do I even want to watch it? Sad times, guys. I mean, you expect it to be like fucking mental with David Lynch and that, and it's Twin Peaks on top, but this is just a bit much. And I feel like the people that were reviewing it that gave it so much praise are just being nostalgic to the original.
It's hard to separate yourself. I will review Pacific Rim too. If it's shit, it's going to take a lot for me to say it's shit. Because I love the first one so much.
Yeah.
I almost felt praiseless with The Hobbit.
Fucking hated the Hobbit film.
But it's something to definitely look out for. Please let us know how it continues.
Yeah, if I ever find it and have the inclination to actually stick within.
You were looking forward to it for so
I
much.
know, it's really upsetting.
Right, I think genuinely it's okay for us to end it there.
I feel like we've ended it on a sad note though.
Well, film-wise, it's not been a holy fuck, why are we bothering year, but it's not been a great year. There's been some shit films out, there's been some good films out, like, every year. Sometimes the industry fucks up, and it's fucked up a bit this year, but
What can you do?
what can you do? We'll just keep rolling on and just keep watching it either way, so fuck it.
Still pay and watch. And
Yeah,
they still
of
get where
course.
they're going, and they still carry on doing what they want.
Exactly. To whoever's still listening to this, thank you ever so much for sticking through
Wait,
it.
do we need to do dickhead of the week?
That's why I wanted you to bring your laptop.
Oh. Why do we need my laptop for that? The
Who's-
categories and
Yeah.
who's in it.
The-
Oh, is it dickhead of the year?
Yeah, we got
Oh, I see. Well, that's my bad. Tell you what, put it in the comments section, get people to vote.
I'll do that. If you wish to vote for the Dickhead of the Year, you can say it.
This is an amazing idea that you've just come up with. Tell us more.
No, I'm going to let you do this because I love the idea so much that I thought that you should say it.
You're just trying to pass the buck
Yeah,
on to
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't forget my laptop. That's why.
Alright, I'll take it. Yeah, my bad, I forgot the laptop. So, how about instead we will put the various dickheads of the week in the comment section and you can vote for your favourite. Well, is it favourite? Vote for the person or company, could be anyone, couldn't it? Vote for the one that you think is deserving of Dickhead of the Year.
Anyway, if you're still listening to this, well done. There's new content coming. Annoyingly, there's contractual obligations with my website. That's why it's been down for a while, which is annoying. But it's for a good cause. It's going to be made so much better.
No one cares. Close it. Wrap it up.
This is for me. Bye.
Doodles.